All right, let's go. Let's go. Hopefully, all right. I can't connect to Rumble. Rumble's not working. Rumble's not going to work. That's exactly how I wanted to start today off with on our big Monday after being off on vacation for a couple of days last week. Boy, isn't that just splendid? And I totally forgot to do all of the things on the back end because, well, I've been on vacation. And as you guys know, that's a good way for me to fumble, bumble, and stumble my way into a Monday morning. But how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the Hat and Beard Show. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can partake in the chat down below. We got an action-packed show for you today, trying to fill the gap where football is leaving your heart empty. And, well, we're here to fill that void during the off-season of off-seasons. We got news and notes. Top news, guys, in case you didn't know, the big evil racist president, the big fascistic dictator, big racist Trump orange man, well, he pardoned ex-NFL running back Jamal Lewis. Well, I was told time and time again and routinely bashed over the head with the Trump is a bad, fascistic, racist, evil dictator man. Well, this seems to be quite odd. What could it be? We will take a little lickety-loo, and then we got a 3-round breakdown of the draft because it's Monday. It's Mock Draft Monday, and that's all we're really here to talk about NFL news. We will quickly skim through to see what PFF has up for us here on the 2026 NFL Draft. We won't go through all 3 rounds. We will look at who they got the Lions taken with their first and second round. Maybe it's just kind of see where players are falling and see what could possibly happen. And then speaking of the Lions, we're going to head down to the 313 to talk about 3 free agents. Shout out. I believe it was Carrie saying waiting for the scuttlebutt around free agency to start. Well, here it is, bud. We'll be getting to it today. 3 free agents the Detroit Lions can realistically sign this off season. It's some names. I skimmed it and I was like, yeah, yeah, I like this thought exercise. And then along the thought exercise, guys, we do need to realize the reality of our safety room, right? The Detroit Lions' impressive safety depth could help manage injuries. As you guys know, we are dealing with the knees of our lives over at Kirby Joseph's little island there. As the knee turns, the young and the arthritic, I don't know. But we know that Kirby Joseph's going to have a knee injury situation basically for the rest of his career. It seems to be something that, as was stated by him and Dan Campbell, isn't something that you really fix. It's something you manage and maintain. And then, as we all know, Brian Branch had the ruptured Achilles. But there was a little bit of a shining star amongst all of the shitstorm surrounding the Lions secondary, and that was our safeties in the reserve roles actually played pretty well. I'm telling you guys, this Thomas Harper kid's pretty solid, as well as Avonte Maddox stepped up, but we'll take a little look at the numbers the numbers over here at the reserve safeties, and maybe it's not something we need to panic about. Maybe it's something we could look later rounds in the draft to try and solidify, maybe bring in some talent, even though, if you guys recall, we did draft Dan Jackson last year. Don't forget about that. And then speaking of the draft, we will head footballs deep into our mock draft Monday. We're going to go to NFL mock draft database. We will be the Detroit Lions, and it will be the 2026 NFL draft, and we will painstakingly sit through all 7 rounds using the expert board at normal speed, just kind of hanging out and seeing what the chat is feeling, you guys. It is a little bit something for all of us to do as a community. Now, again, as I stated before, if you want to engage with that and have your opinion heard, shout out the Mad Hatter Nation, you guys. Mad Hatter Nation keeping it down. They are a bastion of sanity in a sea of nonsense out there. We are the Mad Hatter Nation. You guys make us all up. We're mad at that Hat and Beard Show. It is a based AF Detroit Lions and NFL content creation station. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel to engage with all of these yahoos and shenanigans that partake down in the chat. Share this video around with all of your friends. And guys, do me this one thing as we go through our stories, as we go from story to story to story. Do me a solid. If you can, just copy the link down on your clipboard. Share it, copy on your clipboard as we go story to story to story. It does add a little bit of a traffic boost to the live stream. But then again, I forgot to do all the things on the back end. Whoopsie poopsie. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. It's Monday. It's President's Day. Hopefully you got it off. This is the last day of my vacation. So like this video, notification bell, things and stuff. Let's go ahead and get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. it means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Man, I'm really disappointed that I can't make Rumble work over here. Failed to connect to stream. Oh. Well, fiddlesticks, guys. That's absolutely poopy. Oh, well, we got things, guys. Let's go ahead and close Rumble out so we don't bog down the bandwidth. As you guys know, we have a awful, vile, racist, dictatorial, fascistic, the worst thing to ever happen to democracy in office. Atlanta native Jamal Lewis among ex-NFL players pardoned by Trump. Now, you guys might be asking yourself, yeah, I remember Jamal Lewis. Boy, he was kind of a bruiser, right? What do we know about this whole situation, right? Well, White House pardon czar. I hate that. The whole czar thing is so lame, dude. It's so lame. Alice Marie Johnson made the announcement on February 13th, which included Lewis, Joe Klecko, Nate Newton, Travis Henry, and the late Billy Canton, all of whom were granted clemency. Backstory is Jamal Lewis, who played for the Cleveland Brown Eyes and Baltimore Ravens, pleaded guilty in 2004 to using a cell phone to set up a cocaine deal. About 4 years after the arraignment was made, the deal was never completed. So, technically, all he really did, he was convicted of using a cell phone. Criminal! According to the LA Times, he was ordered to spend 2 months in a halfway house and complete 500 hours of community service after serving prison time. As a running back, Jamal Lewis was drafted in the first round by the Ravens in 2000 and won a Super Bowl with the team in 2001. He was named the 2003 AP Offensive Player of the Year, and there was no reason why the pardon was given. I'm willing to bet that when you really look at it, all he did was use a cell phone. He was setting up a cocaine deal, but the deal was never completed. So I think he was probably pardoned after 22 years in prison. See, if he was sentenced and convicted in 2004, that means that between 2004 and 2026, that's 22 years. In that 22 years, we had effectively 12 years of the same Democrat regime. Weird. So if we had Obama and then Potato Brain, how is it that he was never pardoned for using a cell phone during those administrations? But when we have such a vile, racist, evil, dictatorial, fascistic tyrant of a president named Donald Trump, why is he getting pardoned under that administration? I don't know, man. It seems weird, dude. Seems kind of weird, but what do I know? I am just a man inside of your phone. I'm an AI. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe down below. Let's talk about football, guys. I just like Jamal Lewis. I'm not gonna lie. I just like Jamal Lewis. I always like Jamal Lewis. I liked his running style. I liked that little choppy step motion that he did, dude. I liked it a lot. You know what I'm saying? When I was doing this shit, all I had to do was knock on the wall. No cell phone needed. There you go, Rick. How you doing? Twisted. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Dude, is that Magnum PI as your profile picture, bro? That's dope, dude. Yes, dude. Happy birthday to President Lincoln. 100%. That's why it's President's Day, dude. Yes. Shout out Derek, knowing his history, dude. There we go. All right, guys. Let's get into some football talk here. It's Mock Draft Monday. 3-round NFL draft. Jets pick Caleb Downs. Rams find Stafford's successor. Oh, wow, wow, wee, wah. Let's go ahead and just peruse, guys. This is a Monday. We're casually coasting through it because I forgot to do all the back end stuff because I was too busy trying to figure out how to make Rumble work and it didn't want to work. Obviously, you guys, is it like a guarantee? It's a guarantee that Mendoza's going number 1 overall, right? I mean, is there really a free agent on the market that the Las Vegas Raiders of Oakland could really take a swing on short of trading for Kyler Murray, or I guess seeing what you could get in a trade, some draft capital for a Tua? I guess Tua could use maybe you could work some type of a deal to bring in a Dak if Dak wanted out of Dallas, but I feel like the free agent class for quarterbacks not so great this year, not so solid. Not like that. Like who's out there? Who's out there? There's no Sam Darnold this year. You know what I'm saying? There's no like take a swing on a guy. So you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go the draft route. You're gonna have to go the draft route. So sitting at number 1 overall. Oakland probably going to do the thing that every team does in this position. Takes a quarterback, number 1 overall. It's going to be Fernando Mendoza unless something happens during now and the draft process. He has, I don't know, falls off a scooter or something. I don't know, man. Things happen. But Oakland probably going to have to go the quarterback, number 1 overall route. I don't know, man. Maybe they want to spice it up, and they think that the QB class can kind of shake its way down, and they can take a swing on a guy in the later rounds. But probably going to go the Fernando Mendoza. And unfortunately, and I don't actually have anything for or against Fernando Mendoza. I don't care. I don't care about Fernando Mendoza. Look, good on Indiana. Good on you. Awesome. Cool. You played NCAA in real life. Awesome. Awesome possum. But I don't care because the quarterback in the draft is not a position that I'm giving a shit about, at least in the first 5 rounds for the Detroit Lions. So, hopefully Fernando Mendoza gets his bag. Unfortunately, Oakland, don't Jamarcus Russell Fernando Mendoza. Give the kid a chance. Give him a puncher's chance, dude. Then we see the Jets going to go the safety out of Ohio State, Caleb Downs. Arizona taking our guy David Bailey. Tennessee going Reuben Bain. Sonny Styles to the Giants. So New York going defense here. The Big Blue and Gang Green getting their defensive players in the top 5 picks. I don't know, though. Is the Giants going linebacker the right move here? They have a pretty good defense. Maybe you look to find offensive lineman or maybe a wide receiver. Maybe you look to trade out at 5. 5's kind of a good spot where you can bail out for a team that's kind of panicking a little bit. Maybe they want to maybe who would you call him here? Kansas City sees Bain Jr. and Bailey go back to back, and they want their swing on a defensive player, so they panic and shoot up the board. I don't know. The Brown Eyes going Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Love to the Commanders, which this is the first time I have not seen Jeremiah Love go to the Saints at 8, which means they have to settle for a Cassius Howell. I mean, settle, that's not a bad thing per se, but when you're pretty much pegged on getting Jeremiah Love out of Notre Dame, it does have to switch some gears. So, hopefully they have a contingency plan in place there. The Chiefs going to take Malachi Lemon. Hopefully they get a Lemon in that pick and continue their downward spiral into the bottom of the toilet bowl. The Bengals going to grab Francis Mauigoa. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is our first offensive lineman taken, and he's all the way down at 10. That is a huge benefit if the draft were to shake out like this for a team like Detroit, because personally, I do like the draft class. I'm not saying that we go offensive linemen, specifically the tackle room, in the first round here, but what we do see is with Maeuga falling to the top 10 or even out of the top 10 with no other lineman taken before him, that's going to push all of the secondary, the second round, third round players down line, which gives the Lions a better opportunity to go after a guy maybe sliding down the board like a Jake Slaughter, like a why can I never remember that kid out of Iowa? I always call him Gunter Davenport or something like that, but I think it's like Gunner Bailey or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? That big gingery bastard out of Iowa I like a little bit. So Maeuga going to 10 at the Bengals. Not only does that bode well for the Lions, but that is a huge steal for Cincinnati. Personally, I think Fano is a better prospect than Maeuga. Again, benefit of if Fano slides out of the top 10, that means we only got to climb a little bit higher to try and take a move at if we want to go the Spencer Fano route. Miami going to take Jordan Tristan and a replacement, trying to find someone for Tyreek Hill. Dallas taking Arvil Reese. This is an interesting move. Not for Dallas per se, but taking the best available player. Arvil Reese I've seen routinely taken within the top 5, so seeing him slide up all the way down past a guy like a David Bailey even per se, because I know David Bailey's listed as an edge, but I think he's more of a linebacker type player. That's just my break on it. Arvil Reese, so Dallas gets a massive boon right there at 12. The Rams going to take Mansour Delane, dude, the stickiest cover corner in college football last year. Denzel Boston going to Baltimore. They get more wide receiver help for Scary Sparkle Spice. Tampa taking Jermon McCoy. The Jets via the Colts taking Peter Woods, the defensive lineman out of Clemson. And Detroit at 17 is going to grab Keldrick Falk. Whoo! Now, what are you guys noticing here? A certain individual is sliding all the way down to 23. Guys, if we get into a situation where we're sitting at 17, and there are all kinds of there is Keldrick Falk, there's Fano, there's Lomu, there's Avion Terrell. Yo! Guys, what the hell do we do in a situation like this where you're sitting at 17 and both Fano and Falk, my top 2 prospects for Detroit to actually, my top 2 wants right now, my top 2 wants for the Lions at 17, if it comes down to it and we got Falk and Fano, I don't know what to do, because those are the 2 players that I am absolutely in love with us for taking at 17 right now if it were to shake out like this. I have not seen Fano slide down a board like this in any mock draft. I don't know what I would do, because I personally have been advocating. You guys have been listening to it. I've been advocating for Keldrick Falk. I think this guy's a sneaky spot, dude. I think he's a sneaky spot. But what do the Lions do? Does Brad Holmes do what he should do and replenish the offensive line, which was our weakening spot, or does he build on the defensive end room where we have been just begging for a running mate with Aiden Hutchinson? This way you get a first-round pick, 5 years at a rookie scale contract. By all accounts, you know, mathematically, look, guys, all I'm saying is statistically, defensive ends that Brad Holmes has drafted in the first round of the draft have gone on to be borderline historically good players. So all I'm saying is that it could be a huge benefit. Now, on the inverse to that, Spencer Fano, who my direct comparison is Penei Sewell. Again, Brad Holmes, when taking tackles in the first round, historically has a 100%, hell, a 125% success hit rate with Penei Sewell, who should have been the first Potty Award winner. But of course, that is going to be usurped from him by the Good Old Boys Club that voted in the offensive player or the offensive protector of the year award, or as we call it, the Potty Award winner. What do we do? Chat. You gotta. You gotta holler at me, chat. What do we do? We're in the situation where you got Fano and Keldrick Falk. What do you do? Mendoza's a lock at 1. No way Brady allows him to slip out of their hands. I agree with you, Twisted. I completely agree with you. Also, it's pretty much the only route that the Las Vegas Raiders of Oakland have to go right now, short of trading for a quarterback. You know, if Raiders want to be relevant again, they will draft Mendoza, but it's the Raiders. And that, Jack, that's the thing. we can say they can make all the right moves, but until proven otherwise, the Raiders are always going to Raider. You know what I mean? There's QBs in this draft. Yeah, Rick, I know, right? Trenches are all I'm looking at. And that's Rick, that is my sentiment exactly. That's why I'm just like, I don't know enough about Fernando Mendoza because I am not looking at the quarterbacks at all in this draft, let alone the first round of quarterbacks. I know that is me being a bad football YouTuber, the foot tuber. Yeah, that sounds weird. Ball tuber. Like, how do you say? Are you a foot tuber or are you a ball tuber? Either way, it doesn't sound right. If there's a day one O-line starter at 17, gotta grab him, says Art. Yeah, Art. And that's the thing, dude. Like, this is where Brent, shout out Brent. I like Falk too. Lions will help be in love with Falk, get an OT in round 2. Jack, so you kind of see it too, man. Do you see what I'm saying about what there is to love about Keldrick Falk when you look at the defensive end opposite Aiden Hutchinson that we have historically looked to build into that mold? Does Keldrick Falk not hit that exactly? I mean, shout out Brandy. What's up, sister? Good to see you. April 23 through the 25th is the NFL draft, and I will be putting in for that vacation time off tomorrow when I get in there. Falk carries some risk as a first rounder because he didn't prove to be an elite pass rusher in college. There were flashes, though, and given he doesn't turn 21 until September, he has plenty of time to develop. Wow. Damn. That is a very young player. Wow. What do we know? What we do know is he's productive against the run, earning an 85.5 PFF run defense grade in 2005. At 6'6" and 285 pounds, he has the size to be a disruptive force in the NFL. And that size and run defense is what Brad Holmes is going to look. And I can say Brad Holmes, but I'm doing it myself. I'm putting my rose-colored glasses on when I see those numbers. When I see them numbers, I'm like, damn, that boy is a beast. But to Art's play right here, Art Vanderlei, to his take, if there is a day one O-line starter at 17, got to grab him. And Spencer Fano is exactly that guy, dude. He's exactly that guy. Let's go ahead and see what they say about Fano. Where did he go? All the way down here at 23. Actually, you can see 2 other. So that'd be 3 offensive linemen taken ahead of Spencer Fano, who I think is the best offensive lineman. In the draft, we see Pittsburgh being stupid and taking Caden Proctor. And then the Chargers going with Olia Vega Loane. I fuck up his name so bad. Ahead of Spencer Fano, and this is what I hate, is I hate seeing Fano go to the Eagles. Are you serious, dude? That is fuck me in the ass. Fano was the highest graded offensive tackle in college football in 2024 and earned an 84 PFF overall grade in what was technically a down 2025 campaign. Right tackle Lane Johnson will be 36 years old when the 2026 NFL season kicks off. So it would be smart for the Eagles to look for a long-term replacement when he calls time on a Hall of Fame career. And that's just it, dude. Fano is a beast. So we are in a, if it gets to 17 and we're dealing with Falk and Fano, fuck, man. What a fucked up day that would be, dude. I don't know what direction we go with that, guys. I don't know what direction we would go with that, dude. Fano is there. We take him and run to the podium to do it. Twisted. That's the thing, dude. I love Fano, man. I think he's going to be just a Penei Sewell clone, dude. He's a Penei Sewell clone, dude. Look, Penei Sewell is Glock, okay? And everyone wants a clone of him now, dude. Everyone wants their functional clone. And, dude, look, if Fano can be the PSA dagger to Penei Sewell's Glock 19, you know what I'm saying? Let's go, dude. Let's go. I see no point in getting too high on any prospects before free agency. We really don't know what we'll need when the draft gets here. What's going to be free agent focus? O-line or D-line? Tight end is definitely a free agent move. 100%, Rick, and we will talk about some free agents here in a second. Day one O-line starters are much more rare than edge rushers in the NFL draft. This team has proven it with who they band-aid in the defensive side over the past 2 seasons. You know, Art, you're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong. If you have a chance to get Spencer, you do what you have to. So guys, are we kind of collectively on free agent center's number one move in your honest opinion? Oh, that's fair, Twisted. That's fair. Yeah, I think free agent center probably is just because of the cerebral nature of the position that, and you don't have there for if you guys really look at it, high caliber starting centers are really hard to find. Frank Ragnow's don't come along every day. You know what I mean, dude? And I like that Mays guy out of Carolina. I also like the idea of us somehow trying to get our dirty little dick beaters on JPP over in the Las Vegas Raiders of Oakland over there. Quickly, we'll just skim down here and see who they got us taken in the second round, guys. So they got us at number 50, taking D'Angelo Pons. What do we know about D'Angelo Pons? Oh, that's the Indiana's team breakdown. Well, shit. So, yeah, they got us taking D'Angelo Pons out of Indiana. Onward! Onward out of the draft. Yes, a vet at center is needed 100%. So, Rick, actually, you were talking about free agent needs and how free agency can kind of give us a bit of an indicator as to what we need to or are thinking we might do in the draft. But that being said, there are no guarantees, right? Brad Holmes could go after a defensive end, or we could sign a tackle, and then Fano slides to 17 and we draft a tackle anyway. You know what I'm saying? So there's no absolute guarantees. I would even be cool if we trade up to get Gray Zabel type O lineman who we missed out on last season. Yeah, Art, and Gray Zabel's that like tweener type where you can draft him as a guard and then underpay him at the tackle position. You know what I'm saying? Between those two picks, the OT over a defensive end. Yeah, Jack, I think you guys have kind of convinced me. As much as I like Keldrick Folk, if it comes down to Folk and Fano, you gotta go with the sure. Let me rephrase that. You have to go with the as close to a surefire thing as our lion eyes are going to tell us. You know what I'm saying, dude? So if it broke down right now and we had to pick between Folk and Fano, I got to go Fano over Folk in hopes that the draft board continues to slide down and there are some more viable options in the second round. I don't necessarily say we have to go edge, but some talented players available down there. So, guys, make sure you could do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that share button before we get into this article. Copy the link down on your clipboard. It counts as a share to the Clanker Overlords every single time that you do it, and it really helps us grow here. And it's just a good exercise to get into. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I was just dealing with some other one of the guys at work was texting me about holidays because even though today's a federal holiday, of course my workplace doesn't encourage it because they're very anti-American. They are very anti-American, communistic assholes. Speaking, though, of patriotic moves you can do after you've shared this link around, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and like this video. 3 free agents the Detroit Lions can realistically sign this offseason. These 3 free agents could be had at a reasonable price. Over here at SI on Lions, Vito Chichiro has us brought up here. The Detroit Lions don't need to make a bunch of splashy headline-stealing moves in free agency. Instead, Brad Holmes should once again focus on value signings that address depth concerns and provide insurance at key positions, which is probably what he's going to do. Brad Holmes never really goes after the big splashy free agent signing. He prefers to build through the draft because economically it does give you the most bang for your buck as long as you're hitting on those players. Without further ado, here are 3 free agents Lions could realistically target this offseason. Edge! Yes, Uter Gross Matos. I was actually I was pretty high on this guy coming out of the draft a few years back. He's been a productive player in the NFL. He's an intriguing option to bolster the edge rotation. He's a similar physical traits to Marcus Davenport, but comes with a more reliable ability track record, which we know that availability is the best ability. At 6'5", 265 pounds, Gross Matos fits the mold of the long, athletic defensive end Detroit covets. He will be just 28 years old entering the 2026 season, and although he missed time in 2025 after knee surgery, his injury history is far less concerning than Marcus Davenport's. In 8 games last season, he logged 158 defensive snaps, tallying 11 quarterback hurries and 13 total pressures, while earning a solid 75.7 PFF rush grade. Not bad. The question is, though, Gross Matos, being a 28-year-old who's been a productive player his entire career, he'll have a little bit. I say he'll want a little bit more dollary dues. He's projected to land a 1-year deal worth roughly $3.5 million this offseason. I bet you're going to see that upwards of closer to 5-6. That would hardly break the bank and would be a worthwhile investment for Lions GM Brad Holmes. I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you think he's gonna get the 1-year deal, or do you think he might be able to finagle like a 2-3 year deal worth of 15 to $17 million? Be it that this is not the flashiest draft class in terms of youth. There is a little bit more of the high-end talent post 30 years old. Gross Matos kind of starts the higher-end younger guys. I personally am a little bit bigger of a fan of John Franklin Myers, but it looks like everyone's kind of clamoring for the 3 named defensive end. Both Gross Matos and Franklin Myers fit that exact same build as Davenport. That's also why I lean into the Keldrick Folk build. It's that physical, long, run-stopping defensive end, what I call the heavy end, a book end for Aiden Hutchinson to collapse the pocket around into someone who can really hold the line of scrimmage. Gross Matos does do that relatively well, and based on the projected value, we should be able to get him for relatively cheap, but again, he might be able to flex a little bit of the aged out free agency market. Tight end, this is clearly a position that we need to go and address during free agency, not because Laporta is bad, but there will be question marks around his back. Back injuries are always going to be a nagging situation moving forward in his career, and we've seen that even with Block Wrong being out there, he was unproductive, and then it landed on IR. And after him, it was just a rotating door of dipshittery and tomfoolery at the tight end position. Now, here they got us taking a guy like Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper may not be flashy, but he's the type of affordable veteran who could quietly fill an important role. With uncertainty surrounding Laporta's back injury heading into 26, adding depth at tight end should be a priority. Hooper, 31 years old, is expected to land a deal worth approximately $2.4 million this offseason, according to Sport Track. That's the definition of cost-effective deal and would be well within Detroit's budget. That would be a very budget-friendly deal on a proven asset like an Austin Hooper. I, for one, don't hate the Austin Hooper move. He's been a serviceable tight end in years past, including with the Pats in 2004 when he caught 45 balls for 475 yards and 3 touchdowns. Also, he's an efficient pass blocker and could help out the Lions in that regard. Given that Hunter Henry has stepped into the number 1 tight end role in New England, Hooper could be an attainable free agent acquisition. While the age is a mild concern, he would likely provide a steadier production than Brock Wrong did down the stretch in 2005. On a 1-year deal, I'd be willing to bring Hooper in to serve as a complement to Laporta. I do like the Austin Hooper move, a little bit more of a veteran asset than the guy that I kind of have in mind. I like the idea of going after a Daniel Bellinger type out of New York. Not only is he a little bit younger, a little bit more athletic, better wide receiver, I think, on the whole than Austin Hooper, but also the Mike Kafka connection kind of lends itself to that being a more viable asset. Though I wouldn't be upset if we went after a guy like Austin Hooper. And then finally, we're just addressing all 3 of the question mark needs: defensive end, tight end, and offensive tackle. They got us going after Michigan State's own Jack Conklin. With Taylor Decker's future in Detroit uncertain, Conklin is a name to watch. And it just so happens that the new Lions offensive coordinator, Lil Spud, Drew Petzing, coached him in Cleveland during some of his best seasons. Injuries are the concern with Conklin, as he suited up for just 21 games over the past 3 seasons. However, when healthy, he's a productive right tackle who can stabilize an offensive line. The veteran lineman wasn't very reliable in 25, earning a PFF overall mark of 57.4, ranking 72nd out of 89 qualified tackles. But pardon me while I choke on that statistic. However, with his proven track record, he's a solid bounce-back candidate. Yeah, but he's a little bit... Subsequently, if I were the Lions, I'd be willing to ink him to a 1-year deal worth $7 to $7.5 million. No. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that, Vito. I'm sorry, bud, but I'm not willing to bring in Jack Conklin. I think you did that just to put him on the cover as your thumbnail guy because you knew that Michigan State alums are going to be clicking on it going, hey, that's Jack Conklin. Let's go, you guys. Let's go. How do we feel about those names, chat? How do we feel? We share more of that beard grows. Yeah, dude, we're letting it grow out a little bit. Doing a little bit more of the mustache into the goatee length over just the full beard length. Trying to do more of the Gavin McInnes approach to the beard and goatee. Is there a timeline on when we might hear this? Million cap with the new restructures. We've got the money for anyone. Yeah, Rick. So we're getting more money. The cap is expanding, and we're having some money rolled over from last year. And if we were to restructure Jared Goff and Amon-Ra's deals, we could have upwards of like between $90 and $100 million in free agency, which would lend itself to the thought process of going after anybody we want. However, our top priority needs to be re-signing Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. That needs to be the top priority with that free agent, that cap space. After we ink Action Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs to long-term deals, then we can see how much money we have to play around with. You know what I'm saying? I'd assume the next few weeks. Free agency begins March 9th. Yeah, I think we'll see that probably maybe a week or so leaning into free agency, guys. How about we just covet an edge who can get the QB and not get caught up in the other BS? That's fair. That's fair, Twisted. That's fair. That's fair, dude. If you will, I know we can if he chooses to. How it goes with Laporta, Kirby, and Branch will determine a lot going forward. Decker and Glasgow, too, 100%. Shep needs to study this offseason on how to use Hutch efficiently. Got to figure out how to get him. Yeah, so what we need is we need to let Hutch take his hand out of the dirt again. You guys remember that, his rookie year, when Aiden Hutchinson took his hand out of the dirt like he was doing in college, and all of a sudden he became an effective pass rusher again? Yeah, we do need a Decker replacement ASAP. You're 100% right, Rick. Art, you're 100% right. When does the legal tampering period start? I want to say the end of February, if memory recalls. I looked it up last week. I want to say the end of February or like the very beginning of March. I feel like March 4th-ish, around there, I want to say. The old Muff Buster. I too support the Muff Buster. Yes, dude. The old Muff Buster. Let's go, fellas. Look, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn, I like Gavin McInnes' little mustache goatee combo there going in. I was like, I'm gonna try and do that a little bit. So we've been focusing on trimming the front 2/3 of the mustache and allowing the back third to grow out and down, as well as emphasizing length on the goatee. It's gay. I'm not gonna lie, it's really gay. It's really gay, guys. So real quickly, guys, impressive safety depth could help manage injuries, guys. So we all know what happened. Everybody got hurt, right? But look at these numbers, guys. Look at these numbers. Whoa, is my camera doing that thing? Whoopsie poopsie. Check out Thomas Harper, guys. Now, I was impressed with what I seen on the field with Thomas Harper. But I didn't really get into the stats with him. So let's look at the stats on Thomas Harper. This guy's young, dude. This guy's young. We might have our third safety in-house already. Over 12 games, he started 9 of them, had 37 tackles, 7 passes defended, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. PFF had Thomas Harper overall grade of a 77.8. That's good for 11th out of 91 qualifying safeties in the NFL. Did you hear that? Not only, when healthy, did we have Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, the top 2 safeties in the NFL, but just, kicking around, just, a cuss player on the practice squad, and then up on the regular roster, and then on the practice squad, and then back to the regular roster, Thomas Harper. Oh, just casually grading out that as the 11th best safety in football. With a 75.9 coverage grade, 10th out of 93, 72.5 run defense, 39 out of 91. Not the most aggressive in the run game, but damn, look at that coverage number, guys. Are you serious? What do we got going on in the water? Avonte Maddox started 14 games, or played 14 games with 3 starts, had 32 tackles, 4 passes defended, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. 1 forced fumble. Very similar numbers to Thomas Harper. 79.1 PFF grade. Now, I told you guys last year when we signed Avonte Maddox, I was like, this is a huge signing. This is an Amik Robertson, Rock Yassin, sneaky, subtle signing that the Lions did with a jackknife player that can come in and play multiple positions in a pinch and play at a high level. And he just, again, top 2 safeties, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, and then we casually had Thomas Harper kicking around good for the 11th best safety in the league. Oh, sure, and we got this veteran guy, this Avonte Maddox dude, with a 79.1 PFF grade, casually good for 8th out of 91 qualifying safeties. Just, in a backup role, when healthy, as it sets right now, if Grandma Wagon this statement, right? Grandma Wagon to the moon, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch healthy, Thomas Harper and Avonte Maddox on the roster. We have 4 of the top 15 safeties in the NFL. We have 4 of the top 12 safeties in the NFL. We have 4 of the top 11 safeties in the NFL. Why can't that number contribute or reflect our corner play, dude? Golly. Injuries were the story of the Lions safety room at 25, and it started with 7th round rookie Dan Jackson. Let's not forget about Dan Jackson. Before the season even began, Jackson, who was expected to compete for a special teams role, suffered a season-ending leg injury. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Kirby Joseph dealt with a knee injury all season. It was first diagnosed as a bone bruise, but the condition appeared to get worse, and now there are questions about his long-term viability in the league. Some have speculated it's a cartilage issue, but all we know is that both Dan Campbell and Joseph himself have suggested this is not something that can easily be fixed, but rather something that is maintained or managed. Unfortunately, Brian Branch would soon follow Joseph to the sideline. Branch suffered a torn Achilles late in the Lions' win over Dallas on December 5th. The relatively good news is both Avonte Maddox and Thomas Harper stepped in and looked capable of being fill-in starters. PFF gave both players nearly top 10 grades at the position, and while I think that it is a bit exaggerated, some of Detroit's late-season run defense woes could be attributed to them, I do believe they played well above expectation. And just so you guys are aware, we do have Thomas Harper still under contract for 2 more years into the 2027 season. Avonte Maddox will be an unrestricted free agent, and I do expect him to probably hit the market, but if he wants to keep playing, probably be re-signed here in the Motor City, considering what he brought to the table for Detroit in a pinch for the defense with both Branch and Joseph being down and out for the whole year. I thought he played well, and if he wants to come back on a relatively team-friendly contract, I am absolutely here for it. How do we feel about that, Mad Hatter Nation? Harper showed promise along with Whiteside. Yes, Brent, those 2 guys I am very high on. I'm very high on Whiteside and Harper. I thought they played very, very well for being underrated players. I think they played well above where their projected value was at. That was with another backup safety and a backup corner. We have 3 top 10 safeties. Exactly, Rick. 4 of them. Yes, exactly. Yep. What's up, Dad? Good to see you, Francis Muldoon. How you doing, bro? Do you have today off, dude? Did they give you today off, or you working and lurking? Oh man. Yeah, you guys. I'm glad we all seen with Thomas Harper what the numbers are supporting with him. Yeah, he wasn't great in the run game, but he was outstanding in the pass game for being a scrub. And Whiteside stepped up huge. Guys, chat, I'm going to leave it up to you. How many rounds of this mock draft do you guys want to do? Do you want to sit through all 7 rounds? Do you guys want to do all 7 rounds, or should we kneecap it at like 4 or 5? I will do a minimum of 2 for the Lions, but I'm willing to go all the way to 7. 7 will be kind of a slog. 5 will be a little bit more easily to digest. Let me know, chat. How do we feel about that, chat? Whoopsie. All right. 4 or 5. 2 7 round drafts. Damn, Trippy, what the fuck, bro? You want me to lose my fucking mind, dude? Bro, if I do that, we'll be cooked come the start of the draft, dude. I've done that before, bro. I've done multiple mock drafts in a day before. And here's the problem, dude. By the end, like, but that Monday, what happens is that Monday I do a mock draft before the draft, right? So April 20 what 3 2 1. So 420 on 420 I'll do a mock draft, right? And then on that Thursday, I'll also do a mock draft. And I'm going to be doing mock drafts every Monday leading up to the draft. So, dude, if I do multiple ones in a day, by the end, dude, we are just like, this guy, yup, this guy, yup. You know what I'm saying? So it does get a little stale. But yeah, 2 7-rounders, that'd be a lot for one day. How about, I like Brent, dude. I like where Brent's at. Brent and Rick say 4 to 5. Are you sure that you guys don't want to do 6 to 7 rounds? Let's do 5. Let's keep it palatable at 5, guys. Huh? How does that sound? We got the Lions selected. We're going to do the 2026 draft. We're going to do 5 rounds pre-draft with an expert board. This is what I like so far about these guys is their expert analysis board. I thought it was pretty good the last time we did it, right? And it's a little bit more expansive than PFF's has, and I am still too cheap to pay for PFF's mock draft simulator. Though maybe come April, maybe once we get into April, we'll use PFF's mock draft simulator because I kind of like their analysis of it. Though it's your show, I've got nothing. Hey, I appreciate that, Rick. That's right. It is my show. I can do what I want. But unfortunately, I have to. Not unfortunately, I'm just kidding. I do kind of want to, appease you guys a little bit. I mean, if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be sitting. I'd have no one. I'd just be sitting here talking to the wall, man, and it'd be really, really lame. It'd be really, really lame. All right, guys, we're gonna do 5 rounds. Let's go ahead and dive into this cocksucker, dude. I bet you Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 overall. Where's the start button? Oh, there it is up there. That's right. All right, guys, here we go. Oh, man, Fano went 3. Damn. Wow, dude. Falk at 7? Whoa. Whoa. This is the weirdest mock draft I've seen yet, guys. Damn. All right, y'all. Let's... No. I'm not trading with the Bears. No, I'm not trading with Jacksonville for the 17th overall. I'm not trading outside of the top 35 picks for the 17th. Get fucked. Get 100% fucked. All right, let's go ahead and start this all the way back over at 1. Mendoza 1, Reese 2, Fano 3, Bain Jr. 4, Tyson. See, that's what I was saying right there. The Giants need to get a wide receiver. Tyson going at number 5, Mayuga at 6, Falk at 7, Lemon at 8. Interesting, because Love would still be on the board. So New Orleans going with Lemon, which then means KC goes the Love route. Totally viable option there. Bailey at 10, McCoy at 11, Howell at 12, Delane at 13. That sucks. Carnell Tate at 14. Downs at 15, and Boston at 16, which means the Lions not the prettiest pool to pick from. Well, let's be honest, guys. Are we gonna go ahead and look defensive end and tackle, which seems to be offensive? Yeah, so trenches are going to be our best option to go here, guys. We could swing at a guy like Sonny Styles. He's still on the board, but is linebacker the position that we need to address in the first round? Brad Holmes will obviously lend himself to best player available. If Anal Zone ain't there, possible option. Leone, however you pronounce it, he's obviously there at a solid pick. Proctor's been a guy we've seen mocked to us quite regularly, and he's actually being suggested by the simulator tool. We could go for a Terrell. Lomu, still there. Obviously, I like Caleb Lomu. Is he worth, though, the 17th overall pick? Hurt foot guys there. I don't like Monroe Freeling so much. I don't know if I can build trades, guys. How do we feel? Just kind of digest that, mull it over, masticate that a bit there. Chat, how do we feel? If we didn't have issues at O-line, trading up to get Bailey from Texas Tech would be the move. 100% Twisted. 100%. 150%, dude. I think that David Bailey is this year's Will Anderson Jr. We all know it, hurt foot guy. Damn it! That's the problem, Trippy, is that's exactly who fucking dipshit's gonna take. He's gonna take hurt foot guy out of Miami. I ain't wild about hurt foot guy, dude. Can I make trades? Because what I would like to do is trade down somewhere like... I'd like to go to like 25. Who's at 25? Ew, the Bears. Let's see if the Chargers want a wheel and deal. Because this is where I'd like to kind of go. Hell yeah. See, that's what I'd kind of like to do, is I'd like to go from 17 back to like 22 and grab a third round pick. You know what I'm saying? Because then we can look and see who's calling. Nobody good. Now, I'm not going to trade back again, because let's see where people slid. We moved 5 back. And all right, the Chargers took Loane. Terrell went after him to Minnesota. That sucks. Parker to the to the Carolina Panthers. Sonny Styles lands in Dallas no matter what. Conception going to the Pittsburgh Steel Curtain, which leaves the Lions back at 22, and we acquired a third round pick. Again. Okay, so God damn it. I am not drafting hurt foot guy. I'm not drafting hurt foot guy. We could go as low as Emmanuel McNeil Warren. We could look at a Colton Hood. I have it down between 2 guys. Caden Proctor and Caleb Lomu. I am not sold on Caden Proctor. So, chat, I will leave it up to you. Caleb Proctor or Caleb Lomu. Those are the choices I'm leaving you with. No ends are really available, and I'm not willing to reach for hurt foot guy right now. We did trade back from 17 to 22 and picked up a third round pick from the Chargers. 17 to 35-ish and grab Anthony Hill Jr. You get some really nice picks. Parker Braceford. Right on. What's up? Is that Gaviscon Con or is it Javiscon Con? Appreciate your input, dude. Thank you so much, brother. Channel your inner homes. This hurt project could be a... No, Trippy! No! Just Gav? Gotcha. What's up, Gav? Appreciate that, brother. Is that a Donnie Darko rabbit picture you got, dude? I can't quite tell. It looks like a rabbit of some kind. It's really, really small on my screen, dude. It looks kind of Donnie Darko-ish or something. Jack wants Lomu. Trippy. Bro, I know, dude. And that's the problem, dude, is dipshit's going to be like, shit, Mr. Detroit City. Bro, I needed to... I should have used that link, dude. My bad, dude. My bad, Trippy. Mr. Detroit City. I should have used that one, dude. My bad, brother. My bad. Not Proctor. Brent, you're on the anti-Proctor train too, huh? I'm partnered on YouTube and Twitch. It's my own. Oh, dude, that's cool. Right on. Awesome. That's dope, dude. Right on. What kind of content do you do, bro? Can I open your channel from here? Clearly, I'm a Luddite, dude. As I just like boomer-esque. Here you go, brother. What do you do? Heidi Planlick. Do you just do live shows? Huh. All right, on. Whatever. Check it out, dude. Bam. I subscribed to your channel. Now you got 591 subscribers, bro. I got you, bro. Gavlock. I like that name, dude. Makes me think of Glocks. You know what I'm saying, bro? And for Christmas time, I don't want socks. I want Glocks. Oh, you used to do true crime. Dope, dude. That's what's up, bro. I actually watch true crime shit. I know it's like real female coded, but I like that stuff. I ain't gonna lie, dude. I ain't gonna lie. All right, guys, let's go ahead and go Lomu. You guys know I am so high on Caleb Lomu. If it comes, I'm a Fano guy, but if my consolation prize is Caleb Lomu, yeah, at 20, if I was able to trade from 17 to 22, pick up a third rounder, and my consolation prize is Caleb Lomu, boom, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way. And let it kind of keep on trucking. I'm not going to go through every pick. We're just going to let it kind of play its way out to our picks now. I believe we're doing 4, or are we doing 5? Hurt foot guy went to New England. Hood went 33rd overall. All right, so we went offensive line first, guys. Are we now looking defense? Because unless like Slaughter is there at center, I don't really see a reason to go offensive line unless like a Jake Slaughter's there, you know, per se. Gonna sneak in with my auto gen channels to get some promo. Oh, gotcha, dude. Gotcha. Hell yeah, dude. I got you, dude. I quit my job as a CPA to put out condom model content. It's not going so great. Well, Twisted, the problem is, dude, is you're probably in an oversaturated market. So what you need to do is you need to niche down, brother. You need to niche down and really, like, instead of just being a condom model, you need to be like a all natural condom model, or like a just glow in the dark condom model. You know what I'm saying, dude? You really need to niche down, bro. You really need to niche down, because as you niche down, you can increase your value. You know what I'm saying? Think of it as literally, bro. Think of it as a squat cobbler approach, dude. You could just be generating squat cobbler content, or you could specialize in baby squats. You know what I'm saying? Which allows you to make more money. I'm not trading with the Packers. They can get fucked. Miami, I'm not trading into the third round with my beautiful second round pick. I'm not trading with Minnesota. They can get fucked. New Orleans, I'm not trading my beautiful second round pick for the third round. Damn. New England coming in kind of heavy here with a second and 2 fourths and a future 5th. Let's see who's available. Oh, Jennings Dunker. That's the guy I was thinking about. Jennings Dunker. Gunter Dunker. Damn, boys, there ain't shit. There's Keontae Scott, or D'Angelo Pounds, or Gabe Yakas. Oof. You know what, boys? I actually really, really, really like the value that was offered to me here by... oh, shit, I can't pull up my offers. Offers, boom. I like this New England trade. Moving back 13 picks to get 2 more in this draft and a future 5th. Let's go. Let's go. I'm pulling the trigger. It was offered. I didn't have to build it. Gonna sneak in. Yeah, you want to go defense, Rick? Defense. All right, we'll trade back 13 spots and pick up 2 4th rounders and a 5th rounder. Yo, Dad, are you at work, dude? You ain't working today, are you? You're just farting around at home. You got today off, dude. Don't even lie. I see you dropping emojis in the chat, dude. Here we go. God damn it. They're going to make me draft Gunter Dunker, aren't they? Nope. Gunter Dunker went. Where'd Gunter Dunker go? Get out of here, Green Bay. Nobody likes you. Ah, Gunter Dunker went to the Rams. Damn it. Good old Gunter Dunker. Well, shit. All right, guys. Looks like we're kind of bottled into corner here. Unless we want to take some swings on some guys. Nope, don't like what's down line. All right, let's go corner, guys. Let's go corner. Do we like Scott Pons or Chris Johnson? Not that Chris Johnson. What do they want? Anthony Hill Jr., Parker Brailsford, Crownover, and Takaro Davis. Fill in the rest. Right on. Oh, still off work. Right on, Dad. Need a Kirby replacement, Trippy. We have one, dude. His name's Thomas Harper. I think, doesn't Thomas Harper actually play Kirby's position in a 1-to-1 replacement? Isn't he more of a free safety? Isn't that what we're doing with every draft pick? Taking a swing? Hey, that's fair, dude. I don't know why I'm over here pretending like I'm actually picking players, dude. Like this actually matters. I like Scott. Let's go with Keontae Scott out of Miami. Now, remember, we still have a third-round pick that we picked up from the Chargers that we traded out of the first round, or out of 17 to 22, swapped to the Chargers. And then we traded back from 50 to 63 with the Pats and picked up 2 fourth-round picks. So we still have a shitload of picks that we can kind of build around. The reason that I did that was I didn't feel like there was a lot of high-value players available for us that were worthy of pulling the trigger at 17. Lomu was my top guy of available talent, and then he was still there at 22. I felt that the gamble, sliding back 5 spots and having 3 guys that were within range of who I wanted to target, was a totally safe gamble that I felt comfortable making, and we ended up succeeding with the Caleb Lomu pick. Now, here we are in the 3rd round, our 3rd round pick that we got from the Chargers. I do like Caleb Tiernan. I think this guy is actually a sneaky tackle who probably transitioned to guard. Josiah Trotter, sure, why not? Kamari Ramsey. Do we go that safety route? Let's just see who's available at safety. Let's look at the safety room, guys. I actually like Jalen Kilgore. I think this guy's a sneaky play right here. Yeah. We're going to go ahead and bank on Kilgore still being there. Let's see who's available at edge. Anthony Lucas. I kind of like that play. I kind of like the Anthony Lucas play. Not a lot at tight end. Justin Jolly would be about the best option. Still a lot of wide receivers on the board, guys. Still a lot of receivers on the board. What direction do we go here, fellas? That's true. Every draft pick has a potential boom or potential bust. 100% Rick, dude. Just fucking bringing in the truth, dude. At this point, mock drafts, I look for positions because I don't know anything about most of the players other than a month at least. Gotcha. That, you know what, dude, Jack, that's a solid take, bro. That's a solid take. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Ramsey. No, I'm not going to take Ramsey. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on Ramsey. Let's go and take Josiah Trotter, huh? Sure. Why not? It's a bonus pick that we didn't expect to have. Thankfully, your boy Hattenbeard can wheel and deal. Come on down to Sundance. Trippy, dude. Yes, bro. Don't worry, dude. I'm here to go down the rabbit holes for you, brother. That's what we're here for, dude. That's what we're here for. I'm here to do the rabbit holing for you, bro. You can just, instead of you going down the rabbit hole, dude, you can just hop on my rabbit hole ride and just ride with us, dude. Instead of digging the rabbit hole yourself, dude. All right, here we go. Round 4. Or we have 3 picks. 1 of our own and 2 we picked up from New England. So we can really kind of pad out our depth pieces here. And in fact, I'd say 2 of the 3 of them are going to be luxury picks, if you know what I'm saying. I'm done trading. And I know who I want. Jason Kilgore. Been high on this guy for a little bit. I'd really want is it Hike? God, I can't remember his name. He's a second round talent. Here we go. Our second pick in the 4th round. Done trading. Get out of here. All right. Running down the gutter with a piece of bread and butter. Diarrhea. Sorry we're late, everyone. Bob had diarrhea. Let's go and grab a tight end in the 4th round. Oscar Delp. Boom, we're back on the clock again with our 3rd 4th round pick. This would be a nice little spot having 3 4th round picks, dude. This would be a little spot where Brad Holmes could just kind of go bananas. Bananas. Let's grab Anthony Lucas. Let's get ourselves an edge rusher in the 4th round. Did I do 5 rounds? Logan is a good one. Fair enough, Rick. He says I'll do a deeper dive after the draft. Don't worry, dude. We will also be doing deep dives, dude. Hop on my rabbit hole ride. Sounds like a future number 1 hit. Hop on my rabbit hole ride. It's gonna be my diss track to the Wascoey Wabbit. Hey, come on, camera. There we go. Running down the gutter with a piece of bread and butter. Diarrhea. Sorry we're late, everyone. Bob had diarrhea. Hey! Yo! Gav. This one's for you, dude. Here's your guy. Parker Brailsford. Boom! It's all because of you, dude. It was all because of you, Gav. I wouldn't know anything about him, but you said to draft him, so I drafted him, brother. Shout out. Logan Jones is a center like Linderbaum? Hell yeah, dude. I'll have to keep that eye open for him, dude. Let's go, where does Logan Jones kind of project, dude? Oh, shit. He's out of Iowa. Yeah. Oh, shit. Him and Jake Slaughter are right in that same zone, dude. Fuck yeah, bro. All right. I see you, Gav. You fucking, you know ball, dude. You be paying attention, dude. I see you, brother. I see you, dude. All right, boys. Our last pick here. This is our 5th round pick. What do we do with our last pick of our mock draft? Let's go ahead and Drew Aller out of Penn State. Why not? Oh, man. Everything except for the Kilgore were A's or A pluses. Damn. I'm not mad about that, dude. Get out of here. There we go. So we went Caleb Lomu at 22. Good for an A. When we went Keontae Scott, good for an A plus in the second round. We traded back in the second round to so we traded back in the first round from 17 to 22, and then we traded back with the Patriots. Oh, excuse me. From 17 to 30. Yeah, we traded 13 spots back from 15 to 63, so 17 to 30. Picked up Keontae Scott. We also then grabbed up in those trades. We got back into the third round with the Chargers, and then we picked up 2 more fourth-round picks from the New England Patriots, and then a future fifth-round pick. With our third-round pick, we drafted Josiah Trotter, the linebacker out of Missouri, scored us with an A+. Jason Kilgore, a safety that I'm kind of high on. I'm not gonna lie. I took him with our first pick in the third round or in the fourth round. We got a B for that. They're not very high on that pick overall, but you know what? It was, in my opinion, an absolute luxury pick. With our other fourth round picks, we took Oscar Delp, the tight end out of Georgia, giving us an A grade. Anthony Lucas, the edge rusher out of Penn State, giving us an A plus in the fourth round. We then followed up in the fifth round, or our final fourth round pick, with Parker Brailsford, gave us an interior offensive lineman from Alabama, an A+ grade. And then just shits and giggles, we took Drew Aller, the quarterback out of Penn State, in the fifth round because why not? So, yeah. What do you guys feel about that? How do we feel? I think that was a pretty solid draft. I think that was a pretty cool draft. You know what I'm saying, guys? So, I do want to say thank you for everyone who participated in today's show, engaged in the chat, dropped a like, or shared this around. It does help the channel grow, and it's because of guys like you that I turn out every single day and do this. If it weren't for you guys, it'd be pretty boring, right? But y'all keep it fun, keep me on my toes, and you open my eyes to guys like Parker Brailsford. Shout out Gav, the newest member of Mad Hatter Nation. Make sure that you guys have subscribed to the channel, ring that notification bell so you can be notified every single time we go live Monday through Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. right here at youtube.com. Hopefully we can work out the kinks on Rumble so we can start reaching out to those guys over there as well, our freedom-loving patriots over on the other side of the internet streaming spectrum. Have yourselves a good rest of the day, guys. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I want to do. Happy President's Day. It's Abraham Lincoln's birthday today, so it is, of course, President's Day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. We'll be right back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Until then, I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Bonga bonga. Frig off.